Hi guys, I'm Annabelle. Let's dig into Wynonna Earp episode 5 of this season, which is season 4. Now, before we do that, I must warn you, spoilers. Okay, in this episode, a lot happens, but nothing really has a conclusion. First thing we see is a wedding. Like I predicted, this was only a nightmare, which means that this wedding, it led to no marriage whatsoever. Then we have the fire. I also predicted that Nicole was the one that started it, but we don't know that yet in this part of the episode. However, the fire, no conclusion, does not destroy the homestead. Something else, if you notice, the search for Peacemaker and the search for Billy lead to no results. However, they are both there, yet unseen. Wynonna feels Peacemaker when she goes to the sanctuary, but Peacemaker doesn't respond back to her. And Rachel actually does find Billy. He's right behind her, but she can't see him. Now, whenever Nicole tries to tell them about what she's done and what she's going to be doing and why she doesn't want to marry Waverly or can't marry Waverly, then again, no conclusion, because what happens? The frogs come out. And finally, something else without a conclusion was that conversation between Holt and Doug at the bar. But I do like that Holt says that this is not a war, but a town full of women that are gonna put them against each other. Because again, I talked about this before, air versus air. We got Wynonna versus Margot. So with all these things happening and no conclusion, it is no coincidence that this episode is called Holy War Part 1. I'm guessing that all of the conclusions are gonna be coming in the next episode. Or at least I really hope so. Doug and Wynonna go to the glory hole to look for Eamon and ask him about the Clantons. And his answer, again, leads to no conclusion.
What are they? Demon? Revenant?
A little less and a little more. All of that.
And then, because of what he tells them, they go to the museum to look for the painting. Now, when they go to the museum, we get to see WayHaught Earp, and then there's that battle about who shot first. Now we know in Star Wars, Han Solo shot first, but here at the OK Corral, we have no idea what happened. Doug said he didn't shoot first, so we weren't there, we don't know. Doug is the only one that can tell us exactly what happened, and even he and WayHaught have different opinions on what went down. But I love that WayHaught Earp calls Doug a talented loose cannon. Who else do we know that's a talented loose cannon? I'm looking at you, Wynonna. Now, when they are outside of the bar, we see that Celtic Sisters knot. And I love that if you look closely, you see a bunch of missing women posters right underneath. I wonder if all those missing women are at the sanctuary. The nun welcomes Wynonna to the Scorned Women Sanctuary.
Welcome to the sanctuary of the scorned woman.
A place for women who feel worthless or rejected. So it should have come as no surprise that the woman in the painting who the nun is looking for is Rosita, because nobody fits the description of a person feeling worthless or rejected as well as Rosita does. So let's talk about this painting, because I think there's something there. Now, if you remember, the painting had to be wiped out with some kind of holy water. Now, we've seen that before. If we think back to the firefighter plate that had an image, and then underneath that image there was another image, what happened with that plate? They turned that plate into a weapon that was actually used to kill the widows. 1 bullet, 2 widows, done. If that is a parallel to this new painting, then that means that maybe the woman in the painting, our friend Rosita, is the one that they need to fight and defeat the Clantons. That would be awesome. There are a ton of references and callbacks in this episode. We have Scrooge, McDuck, and Ebenezer. We have Extreme Makeover, Home Edition, One for the Geeks, Comic-Con. We got Oprah, SpongeBob, Whoopi. We got Star Wars, thank you, Jeremy. Also a bunch of Buffy and Warrior Nun vibes. And one of my favorites, when Wynonna finds out about the fire, smelling Doug and saying, "Hey Doug, did you eat another fireman?"
Did you eat another fireman?
That's a callback to when he bit Julian, if you remember.
You will save me.
Yeah, I saved you. Exactly.
And last but not least, an interesting one, the bells right before Wynonna was taken. That reminded me of that loud sound at the stairs with the girls. We'll talk about all of these things and more in our next video when we talk about theories. But until then, spread the word and Earp the world.